Hello, welcome to my channel. This is actually the third time I'm trying to start this video now, so let's hope it's third time lucky. It didn't record because I didn't have enough storage in my, or it cut out recording, sorry, because I didn't have enough storage on the phone. So it looks like I've got enough storage now at the expense of half of my photos, but this is a new phone, so I didn't really have that many on them, thankfully. But unless they were just taking time to come back because I was deleting stuff. But anyway, I'm using, I think this is 21-inch hair. It's really gorgeous and smooth and soft. The last time I did this, my hair was straightened. Well, I say straightened because I'd straightened it, but it was about sort of a week and a half after, so it wasn't really that straight anymore. Because it was the middle of summer where I'd gone like swimming and various sort of activities to get my hair messed up. But, so I take a third of that hair, roughly a third. And this wasn't really that expensive, this hair. I'll show you it in a sec. Packet. It was this hair. It's this hair. And it's this on the back. So, gorgeous girl. So I've done one already, which I did film, but like I say, it cut out. I might see if I can stitch it together. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. But anyway, what I do, I did explain that I part the hair into three, obviously, and then it looks quite like, sounds a bit messy. You just put it on top like that, right? And you think, oh, it's going to stick out and all of this. It won't stick out because well, it would stick out if I was being super tidy, but because I kind of mould the hair, mingle the hair in at the start. Look, I'm holding it. So here I've got this one and I'm kind of just, moulding it into my own hair. And then I cross that first one over, hold it there, mould it into my own hair and so forth with the rest. So here they are all kind of, sounds sort of tangled up in a sense, but it's not. It's lovely and it doesn't stand out or anything like that, like you might think it would. Let me show you. See that? So because I've done it a few times now, so obviously now I know what I'm doing. This does take a fair while. I'm going to time it sort of from here because the cat I've been filming now for the last coming up to 4 minutes now, and I haven't finished. So it takes, I think, roughly under 10 minutes anyway, each braid. So in an hour, I can do, if I don't stop, if I just, crack on with it, it will take, I'll get obviously six plaits for the hour, and I'm doing 20. So you say, look, it's going to take me about 4 hours. What's the time now? I'm not sure. I think it's about, I'm guessing it's roughly 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening, maybe a bit earlier. I dare not touch the phone in case it cuts out again. So I'm saying roughly 4 hours, so I'll probably be finished after midnight, maybe 1 o'clock, if I don't stop. But I know what I'm like, I get distracted and I'll do something else and then something else. I've got the TV there, which I haven't even switched on since I've been back home for the last couple of months, as I'm starting up a business. I've got my own arts and crafts market stall. I'll be starting on Saturday. I'm using these hairbands, just little black, tiny little black rubber hairbands. If you see me squinting, that's because I'm supposed to be wearing my glasses, but I'm trying to look, you know, some way, something without the glasses, looking all teacherish. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what's worse, wearing the glasses or squinting. So here is the ends. And that's just how the ends of the hair look. And then you can see that they're not, there's no bump, and then the hair just looks like it's my normal hair. You would never ever guess. Everybody thinks it's my hair there. Even my sisters, they were like, wow, is that your hair? And I was like, oh, it looks good then. Doesn't look as ghetto as I thought, because I'm not a professional. You know, it's not like I sit there every day doing this and I can do it with my eyes closed or anything. Well, I could do my own, but not in any professional type of way. So, I mean, I would still, if someone asked me to do that, I have actually done a friend's hair. I've done a friend, and she loved it. And, yeah. So, this should be 4 hours. Whether I'm going to be filming for the entire 4 hours, I don't know whether my phone will even let me do that with the storage. Or if I would be even allowed to put a video for that length of time on YouTube. But I can always edit and cut it out. I don't need to put 4 hours, but once I've finished, then I can sort of cut. Yeah, because I wouldn't know how to stitch 2 videos together. So unless by some miracle I manage to do that, you won't see what I filmed at the very start. So, which I said there was 1 there, I don't know if I said 1 at the crown and 3 across the back. So that makes 5 in each section. And I'm using Cantu, which I'm nearly finished, Cantu gel. And then I'm also using, I don't know if I mentioned it again, I'll mention it again now, which I put at the start, not at the front, so you might see me putting it at the front, just at the roots, is this. I've used this like twice now. It's a huge tub, and I've only used a little bit because it's super maxi. It's like a natural semi-perm, and just at the roots, just to soften my hair up, because as much as my hair isn't super coarse, it can sometimes turn really coarse and frizzy, frazzled looking, and I don't know what's wrong with it. It's got something, it's upset. Something's wrong with it, and that's when I just usually leave it in a bun and I say, oh, I don't know, it's upset, there's something wrong with it, it's not happy. We just stick it in a ponytail till we can decide what happened. It's probably either I've had too much moisture in it or I've had too much protein. It's going to be one or the other. But my hair looks really long. It feels long. Considering I'm cutting it all the time. I've been growing it natural now, well, trying to, not natural, it sounds like I've been chemically. I've been trying to lay off the straighteners for the last 4 years. So again, now I take 1/3 of the hair, roughly 1/3 of the hair, stick that over, and then it forms to form the middle. So make sure it's all lined up correctly at the bottom. Like I say, the 3 sections of hair, and I just plop them on top, literally like that. You think, oh, it's just plumped on top, it's going to stick out, but it doesn't. Because I kind of, like I said, I mould it in. I would pause it and then start it again, but I've done that before, and when I've paused and then come back, it disappeared, so I'm just going to see if I can record the whole bloody thing, and then just cut it, you gotta cut it, at the end. We'll see. You can see my hair sticking out a little bit, tiny bit, because even though I haven't straightened it, I haven't cut it for a while, because I'm so scissor happy. Yeah, I hate those rough, horrible ends, like thin, frayed. Ugh, can't stand them. And I'd rather just cut it off. Even though, no, I think they look gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. I just know that it's not healthy for your hair to have those thin, frayed ends on the end. It's just doing nothing, really, for the health of your hair. All right, yeah, it can look kind of cool and sweet, because even the last synthetic hair I had almost looked actually heat damaged. It was like, it was perfect. It would have been actually, well, I don't know. It just looked like my heat damaged hair. It was really super thin on the ends, the synthetic hair, and then thick at the root, which I didn't think was that great, but when I put it in my hair, it looked amazing. And the hair looked more, actually the head, when I say heat damaged, it wasn't straight on the ends actually. It was just, the same texture throughout the hair. And it actually looked very see-through. I mean, it was proper see-through hair, like really not smooth like this. This hair is really smooth, like it's been straightened. But I didn't want to use this hair because at that point my hair was really, I was trying to get it as strong as I could, so I wasn't straightening it at all. But my hair's been straightened now. Like I said, the first time I did this, I straightened it. And I've used this Maxi Plus like twice now. So my hair's a lot softer. I wouldn't have just put this in without having done those 2 steps in the last sort of 6 months. Like now I can do it. But I think if I'd done this with this texture of hair last year, when my hair was still really super coarse, I hadn't straightened it at all, I hadn't done any heat damage to it. It was just as healthy as you could possibly get, and I'd cut all of the thin ends, so it was like really thick, blunt, bushy hair. And to try and come along and put this in it, it would have been the contrast would have been too much. So now, because I've straightened it, like hella straightened it, and I've done a little maxi plus in it. My hair's gone that much softer. Even though those 2 steps they're only 2 steps, 6 months apart, but a lot of damage can get done to my hair. I know my hair because my hair's quite, it's strong in one sense, but obviously then it's very fragile in the other sense. So just straightening it that one time I knew would make a huge difference, because I'd only just got it quite thick and yummy and bushy, really thick and bushy. So yeah. To be fair, like most, hair YouTubers, they would all agree the thing you want to be using for your hair are hair masks, deep conditioning hair masks. And there are obviously 2 types out there, because it's 2 types of hair, and that is hair that needs moisture and hair that needs protein. And once you've got the balance, you can just sort of balance between the 2. 1 month do. Like at the moment, I've got this old protein stuff that I had when my hair was at the very start, like 4 years ago. So I've had that probably about 4 years now, that bit. But that was when I was using protein to strengthen up my hair, because it was so thin and limp, lifeless. But now I'm using things to soften my hair more, because I've restored that real strength in my hair. So like you can see, my hair's all the way thick. Now at the start of my journey, my hair would have been thick like that, and then it was a quarter like that, pencil thin. On the ends, I was so unhappy. And wearing, clip-in hair, and everyone used to say, oh, why are you wearing clip-in hair and your hair's so thick and lovely? I was like, well, that's because that's not my hair. That's the clip-ins. My hair was that long, but not that thick. Not like now. Now it's like super thick. So I've got 3 strands there. I've let go of them, but it should be fairly easy to find. And then I say a third of the hair. And then you can just pull them over and make sure they're even. What's that? That's roughly. My hair does feel a bit thinner. Obviously, I've done the 2 processes I spoke about. Plus, you do have shedding as your hair gets longer, and you lose that thick, blunt cut. Not really concentrating there. Might be a bit. That slipped down. Sometimes they do slip down, but I don't think it makes a difference to looking natural. Well, maybe, yeah. Yeah, it does. When it slips down, it doesn't look as natural. I might do this one again. Might not. I'm not altogether bothered about it being supersonic, tidy. I would like it, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't bother me. Tidy is going to be good enough. Tidy and cute. I know I am going to stop because I drink loads of tea, because I've got loads of tea to shed. I've got the tea. Because I read tarot, and I've been making my own oracle cards and my own cookies. Finally, it's been experimenting, and you know, you get there in the end. I knew it wasn't gonna, you know, I knew they weren't gonna come out to what I wanted them to be. For a few, quite, you know, I knew there was going to be loads of trials and errors because I knew what I wanted, but I just didn't know whether it would come out, how exactly that would transcend. So I kind of had two ideas, and then now I've decided to marry the two together, and it feels like yeah, that's it pretty much, really. So I had an idea of doing one cookie and then doing another cookie for the fortunes and for the oracles, for the tarots and for the oracles. The oracle cards I make myself, and the tarot cards, obviously, that I buy. But I've decided not to do that, and instead just put the two ideas together to form one. And just run with that, and I'm calling that, well, it's made with Manuka honey and bee pollen, the really high grade 340, whatever things it is, decibels, bee humming vibes, vibrations in the Manuka honey. So that's the getting there. Made a start. Okay, I'm going to try and pause this now and finish the rest. If I can come back to you, I will. If not, then maybe I'll have to do another video and show you the end process. Thanks. Okay, I've made it back. Just made a cup of tea. The cup that my son bought me. Alicia, my name. And I just put a little bit of the Cantu. You don't need a lot because it's so thick. I mean, when it comes to, I just washed my hands. I've only done 1, 2, 3, 4 plats. Just washed my hands to make a cup of tea, and it was like trying to wash it off my hands was almost impossible. Like, Jesus. It's got mucky hands. Wasn't even meant to put that much on. I got a bit carried away, as I usually do. That's what I've hardly got any left. So this is sort of the crown and the centre that runs through my hair. Not so much at the front. When I was a kid, at the front, and but the crown to the back has got that dry, really super dry with the hair. It's just really, I say a lot of girls have got it. My sister's youngest girl had it. Don't know if she's still got it. My neighbours had it. It's just always dry. I think it's stress related though, if I'm honest. Like most things. Right, so we're getting another bit of the hair. Cut that rubber band. And then I divide that into 4 sections first. Obviously, I just divide it into 2. And then I divide that into 2. And then I'll be using that section of hair, which is like about that much of what you can see anyway. So I take obviously a third of the hair again. I probably will be editing this. You'll not see a lot of what I'm filming if I can manage to film all of this. I don't know. I'm going to try and look close. See what I'm doing. So you see how I mold that into my hair, and it kind of just goes in and doesn't look any different. One of them is a little bit loose at the back, so you'll be able to tell on that one that's loose, but I might do it again. The kind of look that I kind of like going for with my braids it's that Lisa Bonet look, I guess. That's the kind of first time I did it with twists, really chunky twists. I couldn't stop singing Shakira. It really reminded me of Shakira's, but I think this is like the Mandela. I tell people this is a Mandela effect because I remember Shakira having these big, long, thick dreads, but I can't seem to find a picture of her with her hair like that anyway. But anyway. Yeah, I just couldn't stop singing that song. And then when I did it again, when I did the braids, it was really just was like sort of looks like Lisa Bonet. I didn't set out to make it look like that. But that's kind of how it looked by the end. Kind of had that feel to it. So my hair sticks out tinsy bit, but if I was using, like say, if I was using this soft texture hair last year when my hair was super healthy and thick, it, you know, no, it wouldn't have looked good. But now I've softened it a tiny bit, which I had intended to do from the start. I wanted to get my hair back to that super thick, healthy hair, and then create the heat damage that I wanted, which was a tiny bit, not hella heat damage like I had before for, you know, 20 years of heat damage, and it just was just looking horrendous. So now I know what sort of look I want to create with the amount of damage I want on my ends. Yeah, I don't mind like an ombre damage. If there's such a thing. I think I just made that up. Okay. Yeah, Mama smokes weed too, baby. Sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. No, it's herbs. It's not bloody drug. A lady friend of mine, a few doors away, she says to me, "Oh, I don't do drugs." I said, "Neither do I. I smoke herbs." This is the one that drinks a bottle of wine every night. Like you do drugs, Mrs. Alcohol is a drug. But I guess a lot of people don't see it like that. I'm smoking a herb and I'm doing drugs. What the hell? No. A drug is to me something that's processed. A herb is narcissus or a narcissism or something like that anyway. Sounds like one of those nutbags. That's what a drug is. A herb, a narcotic. Not a drug, as in, you know, drugs, cocaine and heroin, or, you know, LSD, alcohol, cigarettes. Weed is a herb, man. What the hell? Yeah. I don't do drugs. I have done a teensy bit of that, tiny bit, nothing even to talk about, like 4 or 5 times of probably each, and each was very minute. It was just, you know, I'll have a little try, let me see what happens. Yeah, I have had one ecstasy or a few ecstasy tablets when I was a teenager. Some went down quite well and others not so much, so I didn't really bother too much after that. But yeah, I'm a weed baby. My dad grew weed and I used to smoke that and sell a bit of that. Not much. Nothing even to talk about, maybe only 4 or 5 times, but yeah, I was busy doing other stuff with my